Up next, once the stage has been set up, we will take a look into the future. We will hear some startup pitches presented by SAP. And for the moderation of this startup pitches, I'm going to hand the moderation over to my colleague David, who is our specialist on startup topics at Bitkom. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The future, good cue. This is what we are going to talk about now. Hi, everyone. Also from my side, my name is David, and I am part of Bitkom's startup initiative, Get Started. Please join me today as I will guide you through the next agenda item, AI Champions of the Future, startup pitches presented by SAP. Our focus today will evolve around one single question, and it's the question, what AI-powered business will tackle the challenges ahead. In an ever-evolving global landscape where it's key to stay competitive, a business model needs a couple of things. A solution needs to be inventive, it needs to be swiftly expandable, and it needs to be feasible. And who could better tackle this than our startups? I'm thrilled to introduce to you today 5 startups that each will share the stage in succession, presenting their unique business models. Let's discover the next generation of AI trailblazers. And with that, I will also would like to introduce you to our jury today. In this context, please welcome Alexa Gorman, Senior Vice President and Global Head of SAP AO at SAP.
Hi, thank you.
On the left, we have Björn, Sykora, Principal at High-Tech Gründerfonds and the founder of Mr. Specs.
Hi.
Next to Alexa, Moritz Simsch, Project Lead at AI+MUNICH. And last but not least, here to my right, Tristan, AI Strategist at the AI initiative Applied AI. Thank you to you for joining us today with your expertise, and thank you, Ms. Gorman. Before we start, I would like to thank you that you're going to sponsor this competition today, because SAP is sponsoring a prize money of €1,000 for the winning startup today. I'm looking forward to the pitches already, but just for our startups today, and that you understand the context, every startup will have 4 minutes to present their ideas. To our startups, they will be at 3 minutes and 50 seconds. There will be music playing where you need to be fair. Everyone has exactly 4 minutes, and then we'll give it to our jury today, who has 3 minutes for burning questions. I'm looking forward to the first pitch now. Laura, if you are ready, perfect. I'm welcoming you on stage. If you're ready, the time is running now for Snackz.ai.
Thank you. Generative AI is advancing incredibly fast. That's nothing new for you. But the question now is, how can we advance fast enough to reap the positives and avoid the negatives of this transformation? And I guess you know the answer. It's lifelong learning and upskilling. I'm Laura, the founder of Snackz.ai, and on a mission to hyper-personalize learning. Because luckily, generative AI also holds the potential to massively boost all learning efforts. So meet Alexa, an ambitious management consultant. She already knows a little bit about programming because she had to analyze some data for her master's thesis. And now she's keen to automate some repetitive research tasks and wants to find a video tutorial for that. So she turns to Google for how to build a web scraper. What happens then is she is hit with more than 1 million videos on Google and 10,000 courses on Udemy. There's just way too much learning content to choose from. And to find something that fits to her prior knowledge and to her video preferences is barely possible. So she ends up in an analysis paralysis, and she just wastes her learning time and motivation. Now enter Snackz.ai. Instead of 1 million pieces of impersonal, irrelevant learning content, Alexa receives just one single relevant piece, uniquely generated on demand based on her personal learner profile. Think big, starting small, we had to find an entry point. So we were searching for an entry point where we can quickly build up a moat and also where we see an obvious pain. So we found book summaries to be the perfect entry point for us. First of all, we all know the pain there. There's so many great books out there, but simply not enough time to read them all. Second, book summaries are a proven subscription business model. And third, for us, it's just a perfect starting point to build the personalization technology. So, for example, you tell us your time frame, your interests, and your preferred voice, and we're going to deliver a personalized book summary tailored to your needs. And by that, we can already deliver value with a very early iteration of the product. And once we get this done, we can adapt it and build that for other content formats as well and pursue our vision step by step. So, but what is the current status? In only 3 months, we managed to automate the book summary process and to already launch an app, which is a little bit challenging for the established providers already, because we can manage to offer this educational offer way more affordable. And also, we have a unique feature, the Make-A-Wish feature, which is bringing traction, especially from the AI community, because what you can do is you can request any non-fiction book that you want and get the summary delivered within 24 hours. And we did that with only 2 people. Maher, an experienced web and mobile app developer, and me, I'm Laura, and I have a track record in combining psychology and technology in the educational technology landscape. And I just love building products that make people grow. And we're receiving hands-on support from a former unicorn founder from Said. And actually, as we're moving fast, the slide is not up to date anymore, because just this week I managed to convince the former CTO of Caire and expert lead to join the team and to add more than 10 years of experience in tech and in startups to the team. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here today, and I'm very happy to answer all your questions and to connect later. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura, for introducing us to Snackz.ai. Great pitch. Does the jury have any burning questions?
Okay, I have one. So, Laura, thanks for the presentation. Thanks for the pitch. What about the rights of the books? Do you have to pay some fee or something, or how does it work?
So we don't publish the books, and book summary is an own intellectual property work. So everyone is allowed to just read a book, summarize it, and publish the summary.
Okay, thanks.
Does yours, sorry. Does your solution then learn, so if I ask for a book, I stop halfway through because I don't like it or it's not quite the topic, will your app learn my preference and improve the suggestions going forward, or is the feedback loop incorporated?
That is definitely a goal for the future, because we really want to know what are people interested in for one book, so we can later then also suggest that to other users, because maybe your user profile is very similar to another user profile, so then we can also already give them a way better summary than before.
I would be interested a little bit to learn about your traction, where you're standing at the moment. Do you have first customers? Are they paying, or where you're standing at the moment?
So at the moment, the application is completely for free. We are building. However, we already have more than 600 users that use the app, and we gain all the user data, which helps us to, of course, iterate based on the usage data.
And you already received some feedback from the first users?
Yes, of course. Also, from the beginning on, we started with a beta testing community of 100 people, and we're very close to the users. And the feedback is, quite good. That's why we keep going.
Okay.
And what's your pricing model then going forward? Once you ask people to start paying, what do you see there?
So we're not set on a specific price yet. We need to figure that out. We're going to have a monthly subscription and a yearly subscription as a typical starting point. And then we're going to experience with microtransactions. Because, as you know, with all the third-party AI tools, we have to pay per request. So that's what we're going to experiment with, whether we can build a model based on that.
We still have 30 seconds left.
So which language model are you using?
At the moment, we're using OpenAI, GPT-4, and we're using Claude from Anthropic.
Thank you very much for your answers, Laura. And with that, we don't want to lose any time, so I'd like to introduce Daniel on stage next. Hi, Daniel.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you on stage. When you're ready, you can go right ahead and introduce us to Caire.
Perfect. Hello, everybody. I'm Daniel from Team Caire. But actually, today, I want to start you off with another team. This is the team of our partner clinic in Fürth. And they're actually looking for colleagues, which is something that happens more and more often. As already today, 350,000 German healthcare jobs can't be filled. And by 2035, this number is projected to rise to 1.8 million. And if this number doesn't scare you, you didn't fully understand it. So let me tell you what it means. It means less human interaction. It means overworked and stressed personnel. And in the end, it means wrong decisions and death. So we thought, what can we do to prevent this future? And we're actually looking to initiate a change from a reactive to a preventive healthcare system, providing health scans much more frequently than they're happening now. And we want to do that by switching from a centralized to a decentralized solution where health scans don't happen at hospitals and doctors' offices, but you can actually do them at home. And they need to be super easy to perform by everybody, which is why we offer a comprehensive health scan just with the camera on your smartphone. In our first product, we extract vital signs from small color changes of your face. And right now we're conducting studies to screen for diabetes and stroke, also just with a normal camera. In the future, we want to predict neurological diseases from small muscle movements of your face. And as I said, our first product is vital signs extraction, which is already on the market right now. And vital signs extraction is something that happens millions of times a day in every hospital, doctor's office, ambulance care facility. Right now you need multiple hardware devices, you need trained personnel. Usually it's not digitally connected. Some of the hospitals that we're working with, there's actually a chair where the patient sits, they put on an oximeter, the care provider walks back to their Windows 95 desktop, type in the value, go back, do the same thing with a blood pressure cuff. So it's a really long process. With our solution, as you can see in the demo here, and actually we tested this with Tristan, we take a 20-second video. From that, we extract the heart rate, breathing rate, blood pressure, and in the future also the oxygen concentration. All this is completely hardware agnostic, meaning that we turn any camera, any smartphone, any tablet into a mobile triage point. And with that, there's a slide missing. Anyways, with that, we are actually reducing the time of a triage from 5 minutes to 20 seconds, and all of this completely contactless and just with the press of a button. And what we do is actually that we offer this service as an API, so we don't build out our solutions. For example, in the clinical sector, we partner with patient data management systems. In the consumer health app market, we're partnering with partners who already have their apps and they are using us in the backend. And also telemedicine is, of course, a big sector for us. And the beauty of this business model is that one solution, video in, vital signs and diagnostics out, can fit into many different markets. We're talking driver monitoring, baby monitoring, sports exercise equipment, you name it. So right now we're raising our seed round. And with this, we want to scale our team and actually medically certify this vital sign extraction. In addition, as I said, we're working a lot on research topics. And with that, we actually want to fulfill our mission of making healthcare more accessible and more affordable for everybody. And we think that by putting this technology in the palm of your hand, we can not only support our friends in Fürth, but we can actually save lives. And if you want to support us in that mission, we're looking for investment, we're looking for POC partners. And if you just want to try it out, you can scan the QR code here and experience it for yourself and talk to me afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, for the pitch. You actually had a couple of seconds left, that's rare. Does the jury have any questions for you?
Yeah. Daniel, thank you so much. So, I mean, you are in the business kind of like of facial recognition, and this is kind of, I think, currently high risk as AI Act. What would the AI Act mean to you, and how do you prepare?
It's still a little bit unclear, I think, to really see the impact. It depends a lot on how the regulations will actually be laid out for companies like us. We are well aware, as we're doing facial recognition, actually in the back end we're anonymizing faces to not store that kind of data, so we're well aware of the problems which already exist and which might also affect us with the AI Act.
Can you say a little bit more about the team behind Caire? Because we didn't hear anything about who the founders are and what your experience is.
Yeah, so we are 4 founders, mostly from a technical AI experience. Right now we are adding medical experience to the team. I think that's one of our shortcomings, but which is also why we're partnering with clinics and with professors who are supporting us in that regard.
Okay. Did you talk to insurance companies? I mean, the health system in Germany is not the easiest target market, I guess. Do you have some feedback from them? What about regulations?
Yeah, for us in our journey, the medical device certification will be a huge milestone, and for also insurance purposes, that's the requirement, and that's also the journey that we're on right now. So we have conducted first studies. We are fundraising now to do the medical certification and to go on that journey to really bring this into the medical market. We don't want this to be a lifestyle app. We want to really have an impact on the medical market there.
Any other question? We have,
you have
1 minute left.
For me, it's amazing that you can tell the heartbeat by looking at somebody's face. Have you proven the accuracy through parallel medical examinations?
This is exactly what we're doing right now. So we are conducting a study with 2,400 patients in emergency departments in real conditions. And basically we're showing how well do these parameters work as compared to the golden standard for different skin types, different pre-existing conditions, different age groups. And the parameters are in different maturity levels. So for heart rate and breathing rate, I think we're in the medical standard. For blood pressure, there's some room for improvement, and especially the topic is robustness. I think in 95% of the cases, we have really good results. In maybe 5%, we have some problems, and that's where we need to improve and find out what the impact of different conditions is.
Great, thank you very much, Danielle.
Thank you.
And next on stage, I would like to welcome Michael. Happy to have you here, and you will introduce DQC to us.
Thanks so much. Hi, everyone. Today, everyone is talking about artificial intelligence. The hype actually started or really took off in November last year when ChatGPT was released by OpenAI. Since then, AI has dominated all headlines in the newspapers, and this is great. However, there's only one problem. The problem is that the old principle still holds. If you put garbage into a system, you get garbage out, even in times of artificial intelligence. And this is really a problem because the attention goes all to AI and very little attention is actually spent on data quality. And data quality is quite severe, in particular for companies, because companies forgo 25% of their revenue potential due to unreliable data. They lose 15,000 per employee, and they suffer 15 million each year in lower profits than what they could achieve. And the number is actually higher for bigger corporates, of course. But what's going wrong? I mean, we can fly to the moon. Why can't we actually get a grip on data quality? The problem here is that it's quite cumbersome to tackle data quality. It's very technical. And in addition, a lot of times it's unclear who is actually responsible for data quality. Is it IT or is it business? Therefore, we support IT and business. The technical user is supported where the data is stored. So for instance, in the data warehouse or in a database or in the core system. The user, where data is being used, the business person, is supported where they work anyway. Integrated into these tools we support, for instance, in Power BI or in Excel with our add-ins. How does it work? In a simplified way, you have data, for instance, in the data warehouse. We connect our platform to the solution and then automatically derive and detect patterns, i.e. rules, and flag anomalies. And then in the next steps, we involve the human, oftentimes a business expert, who can then confirm and make judgments on those violations and on the rules. And by closing that circle, we improve the data quality for later use cases. Now, this is the site where the data is stored. If a business person works with data, then we are supporting in that tool, meaning with our add-ins, again, we do pattern recognition, we highlight anomalies, we flag them to the human, in this case to the business expert, and they can then take decisions and make sure that their analyses and that their decisions are based on foundations that you can trust, so reliable data. The advantages of this is that we combine artificial with human intelligence. We also are able to update our algorithms as data changes. We all know it's not stable. And we also involve IT and business, and not just one side of the users. The benefits of this, they are both on the data side, but also on the business side. They save time, and also they create value, for instance, by improving master data or by improving transactional data. But don't take my word for it. Even though we only started 18 months ago, we have the pleasure and the privilege to already work with a bunch of companies that are early movers in the data quality space and that take the topic seriously and that want to improve their data quality. Now, so much on us and so much about us. But what about you? Do you also think that the future belongs to those companies that can count on their data? If so, we should talk. If not, we should definitely talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Dear jury, do you have any questions on DQC?
What's your pricing model look like?
Yeah, we have two pricing models. For the platform, there's a base fee, and then the base fee is quite low, so it's like 4 digits per month, and then it increases as companies scale with their volume. And then for these add-ins, it's like classic per user per month seat-based. And then it's like 10 euros per month, and it gets lower if companies buy more licenses.
Thank you.
Okay. At the moment, you at the company you as a person in the company has to be on this process, right? Or is a company like Porsche able to use your software for their own?
Yeah, they can absolutely use it on their own. I mean, like, we are not involved in how they use it. For instance, these add-ins, the data never goes to our system because we compute where the data is. And then with the platform, not all companies use both products, but if you have the platform, then we try to keep the data in the data warehouse, for instance, and then only send SQL queries or pull like an example, like an extract of the data to run our algorithms. So therefore, like, these companies, most of them use it on their own. Sometimes if it's a POC, if it's like a new data type that we are not familiar with, then of course we want to work with them in a POC kind of setting.
Okay, thanks.
What is the biggest challenge when it comes to the adoption, so the use of the people that are using it? Because my experience is that often it starts the problem of data literacy, and that is often missing. So what are users saying?
Yeah, you really need this one aha moment where a person says, oh shoot, this could save me so much time, or I would have avoided this error. And then people adopt the solution and really try it out and play with it. But you really need to basically convince every person, or at least someone in their environment, to have this aha moment where they save time or avoid an error. And once you have this, then people, they really see the benefits in it. But if you don't get that aha moment, yeah, people then don't use it. So it's sharing like success stories. Sorry.
Sorry, no. Who are your biggest competitors, or who do you see when you're talking to customers? Who else is offering something?
So a lot of times our competitors focus very much on the tech person. And they are like big competitors. The incumbents are like, for instance, an Informatica maybe. And then you have like more innovative companies such as like a Monte Carlo, a Big Eye Soda, like these kind of players. And like where we really differ is by involving the business person. But this, like, we need to get across because most of the time the buyer persona is sitting in the IT department. And they need to see that, oh yeah, my job would be much better, and I'm not the only one who's responsible for data quality. I want to involve the business, and that's also a bit our challenge, like getting there.
Thank you.
Still we have time for one more question.
Can you say something again about the team that's
Yeah,
behind
the
it?
team is 3 founders, 2 with a more technical background and 1 with a business background. And then we have like 3 to 4, we have more time, sorry. Then we have 3 to 4 data scientists / software engineers. And if we have like bigger projects for larger corporates, then we work with freelancers. But we are currently looking for talented software developers if they are here.
All right, thank you very much, Michael, for your answers.
Thank you.
I see Tatjana is already ready. Happy to have you here today, and you will introduce us to Agents.inc.
Exactly.
So if you're ready, the time is running.
All right. Hello, we are Sebastian and Tatjana from Agents.inc. Ladies and gentlemen, so happy I don't have to introduce what AI is, like in past years. Who of you have tried ChatGPT and maybe received the wrong results? So this is basically the problem that our customer comes with us. They feel like they're standing below this huge wave and actually don't know how to surf this wave. Now, our customers have to rely on the qualified results. They have to trust the data. So how can AI help us here? Our answer to this challenge are AI agents. AI agents are highly specialized software bots. They write prompts for you. They write hundreds of prompts using real data. AI agents can identify, monitor companies. AI agents understand technologies. AI agents analyze, scan media landscape in 150 countries in local languages. So how does it work? You as a user give an agent a task. So the agent understands these tasks and divides this task into many, many subtasks for his colleagues. So we are talking here about an AI agent network. The user gets back information on an interactive dashboard and reports and can provide to the agent feedback so the agent learns the user's context to provide better results.
So if this is a little complex, let me show you how it works. So here you see a real agent that's scanning news in 150 countries. You can simply configure what the topic you're interested in. Then it generates the dashboard, and you can open the dashboard and see in this case who are the most important people and media sources you should look at. And only after we have done the data crunching, we actually generate stuff. So there's a button to report, and only when the user has found out that this is the right data, then we automatically generate reports on the fly based on the data that we have analyzed before. Under all of this is a platform for AI agents. And the idea is that one agent can work with another agent. So one agent can give a task to another agent, and it can also share data with it. So you really have like a little army of digital employees that support the companies. Now you might think that's a little bit crazy and really far from fetched, but Tatjana will show you more.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, AI agents is the next big thing, and we are not the only ones believing that. Bill Gates said that everybody, so all the employees will have their agents as digital assistants, and our customers agree. For example, if the Minister of Labor of Germany is talking about AI, so our agents are used there. Now, in our business model, we have an agent store, like an app store. So our customers come for the specific problem they are choosing one specific agent. If they don't find an agent, we then develop a new agent in our agent factory. And if they, our customers or other partners, have already trained AI models, they can easily integrate those models into the agent. So this all is done with an amazing team. We're a very, very diverse team. We come from 4 different countries. And right now, if you cannot imagine working in the future without AI agents, please talk to us. And for all the investors here we are raising seed round right now, please also talk to us. Thank you very much, and consider it done.
Thanks a lot, you two. Any burning questions over here?
Yeah, thanks for the pitch. What are the main competitors on this market at the moment?
So I think our main competitors are the agencies that have been doing this work manually so far and still are doing. We learned it from our customers that this work is, so they really rely on high quality results, and it was done manually so far.
Yeah, and technically there's basically like companies that monitor the media sources, for instance. Yeah, they exist. We just went on a congress last week here in Berlin, and we were surprised by how not so smart their solutions are, and they were a little bit surprised by how smart you can do it when you structure it differently, and the agents give us this advantage. And so there's basically for each agent, or not for each, but for some of the agents, we have direct competitors. On a platform level, we are still the first. So that's the thing that why we need the money, yeah? Because we want to build this European big company that provides this platform where we all work with our digital agents, because it shouldn't be all these niche solutions that don't talk to each other.
Thanks.
Another one, maybe.
I'm going to ask the same again with the pricing. How are some of your customers paying for this? Do you pay per employee, per agent?
No. Actually, our customers buy tokens, so they buy annual subscription, and our agents are very smart. Before you give a task to the agent, it will calculate how many tokens it will need to perform this task.
Okay.
Yeah, so our customers have very high flexibility to use.
Yeah, because we don't, you know, like in big companies like yours, we don't want the employee to go up to his boss and ask for a budget to use this particular agent. So the idea is you have a certain amount of tokens, and then the employees can use them freely, but we still have like a mobile plan, a cap on their usage, so that like a company like Petrobras or the ministry, not all the employees can start using it without us getting more money.
And whom in an organization would you talk to sell your solution?
So it really depends, but typically the business unit's doing the job at the moment and seeking support, yeah? So with Bayer, we speak to the supply chain people who look for companies, need to understand what's happening in the world. In Petrobras, we're speaking to the public relations people, in the ministry, it's actually, there's public tenders, so you have to win it, so it's a little bit more complex.
In BMW, it's people that monitor cities for mobility topics. In Porsche, there's Porsche engineering, so doing deep stuff.
Yeah, so it's basically people who right now face the task, maybe some of you in the audience do too, have like, you are the guy that should do the AI, and then they're like, oh, what do I do now? And then when they see us, they're like, maybe we can already use 2 of your agents, and maybe we can build another one for a specific topic, so that's typically how it works.
And it is different. So Thales is, for example, monitoring their competitors with our agents, and it could be IT that is interested in our platform, or businesses that are interested in directly using the agent for their concrete problem.
Thank you very much for your answers. All right. Last but not least, we already reached our final startup pitch of the day, and with that, I would like to introduce on stage Jana, who is going to talk about Fraud Zero.
Thank you very much. Hi to everyone. That's my opening line. Identifying what's real and what's fake will be the challenge of the upcoming decade of AI-driven data models. So. My name is Jana. I'm one of the founding team of Fraud Zero. We are a cybersecurity company based in Munich. So what's the problem? The problem is we have nowadays more bots than humans in the internet. Bots imitate the human behavior as closely as possible. So the challenge will be to identify what's AI-based automated programs, what's fake comments, fake content, deep fakes, etc., and to distinguish those AI-based programs from real human actions or content. So when we're talking about bad bots in the internet, we're talking about like sniper bots, they buying up limited goods. Let's think about the ever sold out PlayStation. They create fake accounts, they steal and abuse data, credit card data, or they lead to an inability of internet services through DDoS attacks, etc. So bots also causing advertising fraud. So this is, or in this context, the fraudsters have a higher return in invest, particularly because maybe you need to know that advertisers spending money at marketing, at online marketing, they have to pay on every single ad click or ad impression. So the fraudsters just easily create a fake website with the help of AI and create like fake ad inventory to get their money. So the advertiser loses money for every bot-generated ad click. And though this leads to a global annual loss of 100 billions just because of ad fraud and ad bots. I need to skip that, sorry. So to detect those bad bots, we're using more than 2,000 real-time cyber security challenges, like for example, JavaScript browser challenges, user behavioral analysis, honeypots, etc. But first of all, we're using deterministic parameters, and to define the latter, we're using, or we need AI solutions. So. I just wanted to give you a very simple example. With our mouse movement model, it's about the mouse movement on every website, for example. So the AI was supposed to create 2 clusters for us, and using statistical data, we added to them concerning the mouse movement, like acceleration, time, speed, etc. And the clustering algorithm quickly gave us a very precise understanding of what is a real human mouse movement and what is not. So if you look at the graphic, it's like a simplified version. You can see the yellow dots and the blue dots. The yellow ones are the humans, the bots are the blue ones. And let's say it's divided in a 3-dimension. So let's say one of the dimension is like the speed of the movement. So you can see like the blue ones, the blue dots, the bots, are from 0 to 40, so that means that the movement are much slower than the human ones, because a human movement is like very curvy, it's incorrectly, it's imprecise, so we get more data points out of that. And like the speed of a movement from a human is like 5,000 to 10,000 pixels per second. A bot, for example, is like 100 pixels per second, and that's easily explained because like a bot knows that that scripts running off the websites and measuring those movements, and so they try to generate as little data points as necessary. Sorry.
Your time is over already. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the attention.
Thank you anyway. Thank you anyway for your great pitch. We have now 3 minutes to answer the last questions that are still standing.
Can you say something a little bit about the team and how you came up with the idea?
Yeah, of course. So the idea came up by like identifying what's real and what's fake by the upcoming AI. It's available for everyone. And as we are VC backed up startup, we started 1 year ago. We are a team of three people. The core team is 3 people. We are a software engineer. I'm the legal part of the team, and we have two sales employees. That's basically the core team. The CEO is Tilman Pfeiffer, which comes from the VC area. And the idea was like, to identify what's real and what's fake. But as we are VC finance, we need to specialize on a special topic, and that's why we're focusing on advertising fraud. So our target customers are advertisers, publishers, all players during the programmatic advertising system.
Any other question?
Do you already have your first customers?
Excuse me?
The first customers you already have?
Yeah, we do have. We do have a lot of grant brands. They're trying what the results is and how they can optimize their campaigns, excluding those identified spots from their marketing campaigns, and how many budget they can save, their marketing budget they can save. Yeah.
Do you have any competition?
Yeah, we do have.
Or what's your USP then compared to the competition?
Yeah, but it's not in Europe. The European market, we don't have any great competitors, but in the US market, like the whole online marketing budget is even bigger than in Europe. And I think in Europe we have some issues on top of that, like dealing with all the privacy regulations, e-privacy, GDPR, and this is something the competitors from the US may stop them to go to the European market. Yeah. Because we are collecting many personal identifier data and processing them, of course.
All right. Thank you very much, Jana, for your answers. Yeah, please give it up for all of our startups. We are unfortunately through with the pitches of today, so I would like to invite Björn, Moritz, and Tristan to go backstage to discuss today's winner. And in the meantime, Ms. Gorman will give us a talk on here, so I'll hand you the microphone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think this is...
This one's good enough.
Okay. So my job is to entertain you with some interesting facts for the next 10 minutes while the jury decides who the winner is. My name is Alexa Gorman, and I lead the startup activities at SAP. I also have the pleasure of being in the supervisory board of high-tech Gründerfonds, and I'm the co-founder of Encourage Ventures. So at SAP, I need a clicker, right. We like to think that we were a startup 50 years ago, and we like to think that the true magic happens when corporates and startups actually come together. And many corporates in the room here today know that that's not always an easy thing, because the corporates are very different to the startups, from the processes, from the sense of time, the sense of resources. And so what we at SAP over the last 6 years have done, and what I want to share with you today, is how we've come up with what we like to call the win-win-win situation. So we thought about 6 years ago, we did a reset of our startup activities, and we wanted to find a way that it's beneficial for both our customers, for the startups, and also for SAP to work together. And so what we did is we founded a unit called SAP I/O. We branded it separately so that we have our own identity and a little bit more freedom in our processes. So we like to see ourselves a bit as a startup, or in the meantime a scale-up within SAP. And the task that we set ourselves was really to curate a relevant and diverse startup ecosystem to be able to extend the value of the investments that customers have already made into SAP's solutions. So when we work with startups, we sometimes end up using them ourselves within SAP, but the primary goal is to partner with them and to extend our own portfolio to be able to provide our customers with additional innovation. We've done this as I said, for 6 years. We've been doing this now. We've had about 500 startups, nearly 600 startups, go through different programs around the world, and I'll touch on what kind of programs those are in a minute. But 250 of those are currently accessible to our customers. They're on our marketplace, so the iTunes of SAP is called the SAP Store, where customers can access these startups and use them in a very easy way. And they're complementary to the investments that they have already made. And the job of my team is actually to connect our customers with those startups so that then they can start using them for their personal digital transformation. We have a strong focus on diversity. We set ourselves the goal in 2018 of, in 3 years, to have 200 startups that have a underrepresented founder in the founding team. That can be, unfortunately, a female founder, still seen as underrepresented in the startup space, or it could be ethnic diversity, for example. And we're very proud that we actually fulfilled that goal early, with currently about 45% of our startups having an underrepresented founder. So you may say, what is the win-win-win that you were able to create? So when a startup starts working with us, we help them to integrate with SAP. We've heard a lot about data. There's often a need for data out of an SAP system, or we need data from the startup. And so the SAP IO team helps integrate the startups, so it's a fast track to becoming a partner. They become SAP certified partners and onto the SAP store. So for the startup, it's a fast track to becoming a partner. And more importantly, it's also access to our customer base, because once they're on the store, they can now access hundreds and thousands of customers that we have around the world. And for those of you who don't know SAP that well, 70% of the world's transactions actually touch an SAP system. So we're very fortunate to have customers in all lines of business and across all industries. And that is exactly why many of the startups want to start working with us, is to get access to that customer base. And we like to say it's a halo effect. By being an SAP certified partner, it's much easier to get that first meeting with a corporate. For the customers, what we're able to do is provide really on a silver platter, exactly according to their needs, what are the startups that correspond to the systems that they have in place. And because we do a lot of due diligence and we have a very small fail rate, luckily, with the startups that we have brought into the ecosystem, they don't need to go to conferences. There's nothing wrong with going to a conference, but you don't need to go scouting. We do that work for the customers. And then they're already pre-integrated, so they don't need to get system integrators to integrate. They can use these startups out of the box. And the win for us at SAP is really that we're helping create the next generation of partners. These hopefully will all grow into big partners one day, and we're able to extend our portfolio, because now we are able to offer solutions that we couldn't offer because we also have restricted capacity for R&D. Or sometimes these are niche areas, or in the case like we heard today as well, there are some areas where startups are just faster than larger companies like SAP, and so we like to be able to provide that cutting-edge innovation, specifically also in the area of AI or generative AI, to our customers. We are located in 11 places, or foundries as we like to call them, around the world. We have one here in Berlin, we have one in Munich, but then really across Asia, North America and Latin America. Israel is one as well. And what we do is we have focus programs around a specific theme. This could be the future of work, it could be consumer experience in the retail space, for example. And we select typically about 10 companies to join us then for 5 months, and in a very structured program we do all that I just mentioned. We get them to be partners, we help them with the integration, and we get them onto the store. What else do I need to do? We're typically working with companies that are in the Series A, B, C stage already, because they're ready to scale. They have got the financing, they have the means. If we introduce them to a large company, are able to grow with them then also globally, and we need to see that they have first enterprise customers, so that we're sure that what they have also works and that has gotten good feedback. Because what we then do is we work with them on the scaling part, which is the part that they want to come with us. So just to give you an idea, we really have companies on the SAP store or startup solutions from around the world, across all of the lines of business and across all of the industries. And when it comes to driving innovation, we offer then our customers a number of different formats for them to meet with these startups, anything from an ecosystem briefing to an innovation tour, or we also involve our customers when we select the startups, because the feedback that they give during selection is very important to us. So if any of this is of interest to you, I am easily found either through my email address or through LinkedIn. For any of the startups in the room that think this could be interesting, please go onto our website. We have programs that we'll be launching as of October. We'd love to work with you or hear from you, or if you're an SAP customer, feel free to reach out. That's why we're here. So with that, I see the jury has made a decision. So I would invite you to come back on stage.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gorman. The startups can also join us on stage already. Maybe we go a step to this side so the startups have a little bit of space over here. I can imagine that it must have been quite a difficult decision. I know the pressure is real back there to decide in 6-7 minutes. How was your impression?
I mean, so I think so I think it's always very difficult if you have just kind of like very short time and have to evaluate the startup. So first of all, congratulations for all kind of like
nobody gets a sneak peek.
Being here. I think it's always very interesting to see the different solutions that are coming up, and I think it's always good to give startups a stage to see what is new and what is happening. And I think we all decided on one startup, but it was very difficult as a challenge to decide. I think we thought it was very relevant because the idea that AI works based on data and data quality is one of the most important things. So we decided together for DQC.
DQC, congratulations.
Congratulations, Michael.
I give you the symbolic gesture.
I'll hand you the microphone if you would like to say a couple of words.
Yeah, thanks so much. Of course, we feel incredibly proud. I think the team will be super excited, and we see it as big motivation. There's lots more to do, so thanks so much.
Great.
Ms. Gorman, are you happy with today's winner?
Yes, I am. I have to actually admit that I'm not quite sure. I had ranked 1 to 5, but I know you were up there, so I'm not sure anymore which. But I thought the solution was very appealing as well, so it's very great.
All right. Give it up for DQC one last time. And with that, also a round of applause for our other contestants today. You all had a great pitch. And I, for one, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for what's in stock in the future for you guys. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you very much to our jury who lent us their expertise for this pitch. And also thank you very much for the audience who stayed with us until the end. And with that, I would like to give away to Lea for the next agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you.